Hello, my name's Olivia. So this is my second video of the day. I go by Olivia K on Facebook, Ollie K on Instagram, and Warmium 9800 on Reddit. So I cover nursing related topics. Maybe an hour ago or less, I covered Addison's versus Cushing's, which is a good one. And today I'm going to cover for a reality TV show, Love After Lockup. I'm not going to go through season after season like I do with Love is Blind, because I don't think a lot of people watch it. There is enough people who watch, but not too much. And I don't see a lot of reactions on it on YouTube, but a lot on Reddit and Facebook. I think it's an interesting show, and I want to dabble a little bit into it, so I'm just going to give the overview of what it is and some of the couples that, some or more of the couples that stick out to me. The ones that I don't remember, I'm not going to mention, because I simply don't remember who they are, and they weren't that significant to me. So with that said in mind, I'm going to just start out with the show. So the premise of the show is where there is a person that's in prison, female or male, whoever, they're in prison, and there's a person outside that falls in love with them while they're incarcerated. And I think there's a similar show like that, and there are many kinds of people who fall in love with prisoners. I don't know how or why. It can never be me. I'm never that desperate to be in a relationship, and a lot of these people don't realize they're being used. So it's kind of sad to watch, but kind of like predictable. And I think some of it, like, it's not like it's a real documentary show, but it's like it's for TV drama, and you can tell some of it's like some of the drama's a little manufactured. So they make all these crazy little storylines as well behind the scenes. I bet if you ever seen the show Unreal, I know it's not real. It's not really real per se, but it's a TV show where you have producers that are telling people what to say or what to do, and they create all these weird circumstances behind the scenes. And I feel like that actually really freaking happens with all these reality TV shows, all these dating shows, all these shows you see. I'm pretty sure it happens with Love is Blind, and I'm very sure it happens in this show. Okay, so what happens is these people pick up the person they're dating from the jail or prison, wherever, and then these people have to go to halfway homes, or sometimes the circumstances may be different, and then they may have to go to, I don't know, like they live with them or some sort. It depends, but a lot of them have to go to halfway homes before they can be released and live out with them, or whatever the case. And they have curfews. So I think a lot of these people can be gullible because they're being used, and it's like maybe they are aware of it and they just choose to ignore it, or they're just that naive. Because I've seen, like, for instance, there's this one guy, Dante. He is the most interesting freaking person on this show. I think he's in season 3 or 4, and he fell in love with this inmate. I forgot her name, and I don't really care to know what it is, but he fell in love with her, I guess. And then he even had the doll. I think that part was manufactured or some bullshit. And I guess the thing is, she was using for money, and his mom, his mom was telling him, why do you keep messing with these girls in prison? Like, you're giving away your money. And that's what keeps happening. They're giving these people money. They're using them. And I think it's outrageous when I see this kind of shit, because I'm like, these people are either naive or they have to know they're being used. You know what I'm saying? And it's really sad, and it's desperate. But then you see some other prisoners who know these other people and fall in love. However, they are working on bettering their lives. So I'll give you 2 examples. There's 2 examples I can mention. Brittany and Marcelo. And I did like them as a couple at one point, actually. I did. And, well, their stories really was interesting from the jump, because Brittany also likes girls too. She's bisexual. She had a prison girlfriend the whole time. Then Marcelo, he fell in love with her, but they both fell in love. They got married. They bettered themselves, but you can tell there are some issues between them and whatnot, but they overcame it. Then she gave birth to 2 of his kids, and they were really successful up until the point of he cheated, and then she had a whole threesome with a woman, or what. They finally had the threesome, and then their dynamic just predictably changed, and I'm like, well, that's not surprising. And I think Brittany got to real estate, and I think she's still doing real estate. So there are some people who come out of the prison and they do better their lives. It's really, really fascinating to see. So Brittany, I think, is an example too. That were love life. I don't even know if I can pinpoint it right now. Then you have sorry. I went to bed early last night. My apologies. And then you have Louis and Melissa. So Melissa knew Louis in high school, and she was a whole nerd, okay? And there's nothing wrong being a nerd. I think that's part of my superpower. I'm a nerd myself. And I looked like a real 4-eye back then. But anyways, that's not the point. So Louis is the one she fell in love with. Louis was a popular dude. He was cute. And to me, I think he's still kind of cute. What happened is that he felt like any other young person. They make mistakes, they're selling drugs, whatever the case may be. And what happened was that Louis and Melissa had been talking while I was in prison. Then he got out, and then he went back to his pizzeria job because of the fact that he wanted to better himself. He wasn't just using her. Not like the couples where you see, oh my God, the sad, pathetic, old-looking men. They're not even just old-looking, they're old. These old men who get attracted to these young, hot-looking women from prison, and they give them money. They're spoiling them to the core. And they, again, I don't know whether they're aware they're being used or not. I think they're aware to some degree, because you're giving these people like thousands of dollars and you're not even taking care of yourself. Like the first classic couple, Scott and I forgot the girl, the Betty he was with, the other girl he was with. She clearly used him, but then he had issues himself. So I had a soft spot for him. God rest his soul. I know he's no longer with us anymore. But she also, I mean, even though she was a mess and a bad influence to him, he was also using too. And it's a sad thing to see when you're on this show, like people being used and being taken advantage of. And that's the thing with something like romance. Like it's so easy, and this is the thing I'm going to talk about when I get into catfishing. To have such low self-esteem, you miss the signs of what a healthy relationship could be. With this show, the only difference with this show is that some of these inmates, they, like I said, with Brittany and Louis, whatever, they bettered themselves. That's what they want to do. They want to make a better life for themselves, and they're thriving now. I think there's a few of them that are, but then there's some that are just, So there's this one infuriating storyline that we kept getting, and I kind of miss seeing them on my screen. But Michael, Sarah, the baby mother, and this other video. I forgot her name, but she sings or whatever. And she lost her virginity to a loser like him on national TV. So I'm wondering how she feels about that now. It's like, you're such a beautiful lady inside out, and you're wasting all that time sleeping with a bum, and he's playing with you. He's messing with you and this other woman, and this is what you choose to do. I'm sorry, the eyebrows is really bothering me. That's why we keep men. So it's like pathetic. I'm like, why are these people that desperate? You know what I'm saying? It's really pathetic to see this kind of shit unravel on TV. And I couldn't date anybody. I know, like, people have different circumstances and whatnot, and prisoners are still humans inside, right? But I will never fall for a guy who's in prison, because I'm sorry, you're going to use me. You're going to use me and abuse me, and I don't know what you've been doing in prison. I don't want to know. I just can't. I'm not that desperate. You know what I mean? I'm not that desperate. And again, it's the self-esteem. That's really what it boils down to, your self-esteem and whatnot. So there's so many couples there that, well, I can't help but, like, kind of shake my head. Andrea and Lamar. Andrea was just a hypocrite. She annoyed the hell out of me. Like, listen, lady, you're Mormon, but then you don't act Mormon-like. You force your kids to move to California, leave their lives like from Utah to California, because you want to be with Lamar, and you try to take Lamar out of California. How's that going to work out? You knew what you were getting yourself into, okay? So I think they're divorced now. They got married. I'm like, Lamar, why would you marry her? She's a nut job. I think the best decision was him and her divorcing. Good riddance, because she ain't shit. She was annoying. And then another storyline that was interesting to me was Lacey, Sean. I know it's John, but she calls him Sean. Shane. She was messing with both these dudes, okay? She was a toxic one. She just didn't have her shit together. And then she gets pregnant by Shane. And apparently, you know, to me, she was a problem. She was manipulating both men. And what a tragedy she was. Hopefully, she has now bettered herself, which I highly doubt. Shane, I'm hearing not so good things about you. And then John, I truly hope you don't get back with her ever again, because Lacey is very toxic, and I just hate that every time I know a Lacey, they're somehow toxic. I know not all Lacey's are, but I know at least two that are, and it's like, oh gee, maybe don't give toxic women the name of Lacey. I don't know. What more can I say? I think the show is really, really good. It was good for the first few seasons, but now you can tell people are just going on there for entertainment purposes and just for drama. And there is a new season coming out. I never liked Life After Lockup because I just thought it was boring and I could care less. For me, I just love After Lockup when you're seeing these prisoners getting acclimated to their real lives. Love During Lockup. It was pretty yawn fest. The only reason I liked it at the time, because there's this one girl named Ty, and she had so many prison boyfriends and stuff giving her money and shit, and these shows. Oh God. That's my reaction. Just the new season I think is coming up in 2 or 3 weeks from now. That's coming up. So for Thursday, tomorrow that is, I'm gonna talk about the 4 disease processes that's speaking of, so Parkinson's, Lewy body, MS, and MG. So that's going to come up. And then also I decided, instead of talking about that catfish Sweet Bobby documentary, I'm going to just move that down to next week instead. and I'm just going to end up doing another opinion piece. And this is a point when it comes to nursing, about nursing fatigue and being bullied as a nurse. So I have some personal experience that I'd love to share with the class, right? So that will be up on tomorrow instead. So look up for those. And I'll catch you later. I have some homework to do tonight, so I don't have no time to do any videos later. Anyways, take care. Have a good one. Bye.